Let's talk about lobbying in the North Carolina state legislature. Lobbyists are one of the most despised professional groups in all of America. In opinion surveys, Americans consistently rank lobbyists below used car salesmen and below politicians themselves for popularity and trustworthiness. On every single part of our political spectrum, left to right, people hate lobbyists because for a lot of us, they embody the corruption of our political system. So let's look at how lobbying actually works in the North Carolina state legislature. There are hundreds and hundreds of registered lobbyists in Raleigh, but they are not all created equal. Lobbying is about access and influence, which means that the highest priced lobbyists are the ones who can get lawmakers to do what their clients want. In 2023 alone, special interests spent $78 million lobbying the North Carolina state legislature. From 2022 to 2023, that amount jumped 20% year on year. That works out to about $500,000 spent on lobbying for every single member of the legislature. Most of what the lobbyists literally do is they go to the legislature and they meet with lawmakers who they already have a relationship with. The lobbyist pitches the lawmaker on whatever legislation or favor it is their client wants, and they help shepherd those things through the legislative process. Because they talk to both sides, the politicians and the clients, the lobbyist also advises big corporate clients on who they should give money to. Now, what the lobbyists would say here is that they play a legitimate role in our political system by explaining complicated issues to lawmakers who may not be a subject matter expert on everything and don't always understand all the angles of what they vote on. Now, the honest truth here is that there are many members of our state legislature who are not the sharpest tools in the shed, but there are many who are quite smart, and even for them, you can't be an expert on everything. Besides, this is America. You got a right to go tell your leaders what you think. You can go to the legislature right now and probably meet many of the same people that the lobbyists do. And that's why it's impossible to ban lobbying, which is what a lot of people want to do, because everyone's got a right to go tell your political leaders what you think. The problem is that we all know that lobbying is a lot more than that. It often means special corporate interests using money to hijack the political process behind closed doors. Even so, there are meaningful reforms you could pass to limit lobbyist influence. For example, under North Carolina state law, you only have to wait 6 months between being a lawmaker and becoming a lobbyist, and we could lengthen that to 2 years or even 4 and disrupt that revolving door. We could also pay lawmakers a full-time salary, which would allow non-wealthy people to run for office. But at the end of the day, it's really hard to get rid of the lobbyists. They'll probably always exist in one form or another. It's much easier to get rid of the politicians who are cozy with them, and we should absolutely do that.